So here they guys. I have some cool stuff for you today. Um, as some of you may know, this is my new cage that I made for the SCX24. It's designed to resemble Venom, which is an actual buggy. You can see it's got some springiness to it. I'm using those dual barrel shocks, and they work pretty good. Now, I don't have it set up to do crazy articulation because I don't like when, the way they crawl that way. So I try to make it a little bit more restricted. But this chassis does have, as you can see, that's the highest point that I have for limiting the articulation. So it has all of those other points. So you can get more articulation out of them. So this is just where I like it. So right now I have those overdrive, the trail overdrive in the front. So in a minute I'm going to show you something, when it's driving. So if you see that these are moving a little bit faster than those, that's why. Also, I have my new servo mount that brings the servo as far as back possible, so that it'll still clear, your diff, but it won't be sticking out the front. Like most servo mounts that you'll see, out there for the reefs and all that stuff, your servo will stick out here, and that's a problem when you're trying to crawl. So this servo mount will bring it back. Now, this is not a servo mount that's meant for everybody. This servo mount will make contact with the drive shaft if you don't have your correct link lengths. So when you're setting up your links, because you will have to make the upper links, because I brought the servo back so far back that your original links are not going to fit there. But once you make your custom links, you'll be able to get it to where that drive shaft doesn't have any contact, and then you can do normal driving around and still have all the articulation that you want. See, it can go all the way down and all over the place. Anyways, so I haven't put that servo mount out yet, but I may just upload it in the next couple days. So because I want to test it for some other little details that I may be able to make better. But anyways, that's one thing. The other thing is huge motor. I'm sure you've noticed already. That is a huge inrunner. And the reason I went with that one and not the other ones, like the 1410s, I think they're called, like they're can size or whatever, they're smaller than this, and you can get a low KV one. I went with this one because one, I wanted to fit the biggest motor I could, and that's the same size can as this Castle 0808, which is the one we're going to be using for the drag Jeep. Same can size, but I didn't want to go with the fast motor for this one because I wanted to show that you can actually crawl with a big inrunner. Reason for that is the Surpass motor, which is this one right here, which is an amazing motor for crawling. Oh my god, this is a beautiful motor. But so you can see all the guts in this motor. And for a lot of you guys out there, there is the issue that we like to drive these guys in the dirt and sand and all that kind of stuff, and mud or whatever, and any of that stuff that gets in there will kind of shorten the lifespan of this motor. And as beautiful as it is, as beautiful as the slow speed control is, and as much power as it has and torque and all that beauty, there's really no way to stop it from getting all that gunk inside of it. And a lot of guys out there that have the revolvers and have been using those for a long time, they know that their revolvers get damaged, with all that gunk in there. So the Surpass, I love it, but the truth is some stuff could get in there. So I wanted to find something different than that. This is overkill. Yes, it is overkill. But I was able to get it to sit super low on the chassis, and actually sits lower than the Surpass does. So even though it's longer, It is thinner than the Surpass, and you know, weight is, you know, pretty close. Really close. This one's slightly heavier, of course. But this right here is the Surpass, of course. Motor. It's a 2040 science can. It's usually what you use on a 1/18 scale. And I don't know that you can see it in there, but it's a 2280 kV motor. So it's pretty close to what the 380 revolver is in speed. But this is not an outrunner, it's an inrunner. So low speed control on these motors is not as good as it would be with an outrunner, because on the outrunner you have the magnets on the outside. So that gives you a lot more control on that torque and low speed control. So how do we fix that? Well, we bring the big guys into the game. This shouldn't exist. This ESC, there's no reason that this should not exist. What this does is something that everybody has been dreaming about for many, many, many years. And the closest we've ever gotten to what this does is the Castle Mamba Micro X. And I'm sorry Castle, but these guys, they completely destroyed you guys. I'm sorry. I know some people are gonna be mad, but holy crap, this thing is amazing. Slow speed control even with this motor. You will see. I'll put this way back here. This is real time. This is an inrunner. This should not be possible. What is this? I mean, seriously, look. Hello, can you move? Yeah, you can get better than this with the Surpass. But guys, what the heck? Look at this thing. Keep in mind, this front axle has those overdrive gears on them. And we're using an inrunner. Yeah, I'm showing the articulation. Yeah, I know. Sorry guys, I had to show off. Yeah, the back tires are still touching the floor. So, you know, on a side note, a lot of people think that these buggies are not good crawlers. Sorry, they are. They're not just for going fast and jumping over rocks and stuff. But anyways, back to the SC. This shouldn't be possible. What this ESC is doing is just amazing. I mean, look at this. Like, I'm playing with it, but no, it's still moving. You know, I'm actually moving and taking up the slack on the suspension and everything, and he doesn't care. He's still moving. Let's get that back tire up there. So there's no lack of torque. I mean, right here, those front tires are trying to pull it, and it's pulling on my hand. And until that tire gets up, it's not gonna let it go. And it's still going. It's not stopping. So that motor is putting out a lot of torque out there. And there, it went through. That's it. It went over. So, there, let's go down. Slow controlled. So yeah, that right there, that ESC, this little guy right here, and this is not even their top of the line. This is their Lizard. This only goes up to 2S, and the BSC is lower than what it is on the other one. But this is, there's no words to describe this. I mean, pretty much what this does, it opens the door for us to use whatever we want to use. We can throw it in there. You guys know that I do a lot of motor plates. You know, 130s, 180s, 380, Outrunner, you know, Surpass, 14, what is that, 1408, 1914. I do all those motor mounts because we could never really figure out what motor was the perfect motor for everybody, because everybody liked one thing about the other and this and the other. But this right here, this does it. Any motor you want, just slap it in there. Get one of the motor mounts that, you know, whichever one you like. and slap whatever motor you want in there, and it's gonna crawl. It's gonna crawl and it's gonna go fast as well if you want it to, you know, whatever you gear it. But this CSC just made it to where crawling is possible for anybody. You don't have to be, you know, super specific in what you want to put in there. I mean, I get amazing crawling with that, or with this. You know, like, that's it. This is it. And all it took was a tiny, minuscule ESC to take care of that problem. And also the outrunner whining sound that you guys are always complaining about when I post a video, that's being created by the ESC firmware, or like what controls the actual motor. That sound on their outrunners, that was the outrunner crying because the settings were not perfect. Now you've seen all the videos of these outrunners, and they don't do that whining sound. You don't catch it on the recording as it used to be before. You know, people used to say, "Oh, you know, my ears are bleeding." No, it's not there anymore. So these guys here in Furitek, they have done an amazing job in programming this ESC. Holy crap. This is perfection. And I mean, this is the first one they come out with for this little guy. What are they going to come out with later? You know, they just put that new firmware on the larger version. So they went from 2S to 3S. You know, God knows what's going to happen when, you know, in a couple of years when these guys start bringing out, you know, even more advanced ESCs. What's going to happen with a 1/10 scale scene when this thing comes out for them? I'm sorry, Castle, but that's it. You're done. This, at least in the crawling world, these guys are going to take over. Mark my words, this company is taking over crawling. And we're here to see it happen. You saw it. That's an inrunner behaving like an outrunner. And it all fits in a little cage. I don't know what else to tell you guys. This shouldn't happen. Let me show you something real quick. This is the other thing. You got this app. Did you guys know that this is a free app? This guy put, you know, these people put out there. This will show you, you know, all the settings that you could put in there. First, let's start with the actual settings. You can update firmware. Of course, you got passwords. Motor type, brushless or brushed. You can actually set up, you know, crawler as the car type. That's gonna change what the programming is on that ESC. So obviously you get that beautiful slow speed. User button. This is the button that you press to turn the ESC on. Start stop. You just press it. It turns it on. Press it. It turns it off. Start stop with 2 second press. Obviously you hold it for 2 seconds and it turns it on, or hold it for 2 seconds, turns it off. I keep it in none. That way when I plug the battery, it turns everything on and I don't have to worry about getting in that tiny little ESC and pressing that little tiny little button, because that thing is tiny. It's minuscule. It's smaller than the receiver that I have, and that's a small receiver. Settings here, you have telemetry, throttle curves, temperatures, voltage. I'm at 7.9. I gotta charge that battery soon. If you were to press the throttle, you should see right there, I'm pressing it. So let's see. Got 6, 7. Okay, so right around 8 is when it starts moving for me, the way I have it set up because of this throttle curve. It could still go at 7 once it's going, but it didn't turn on, so it stops there. 8, yeah. So for me, the way I have it set up, at 8% throttle, he starts moving. Now, where do we go for that? Not running. You go to throttle curve. What you saw is what it comes with factory. Okay, just pay attention to the screen when I press this. Ah, no, I didn't do it. Oh dear Lord, I gotta change it. All right, so I'm gonna press throttle curve, and you're gonna see the factory setting that comes with it. Hey, boom, there it was. Anyways, this right here is the throttle curve that I chose for it. This is percentage in throttle, and this is percentage in power that you're putting in there. So I have to be all the way up to 25 for me to get 15% of the power. So that means a quarter of the press of the throttle will only give me 15% of the power coming out of there. So I'm starting right around the middle right there. So I don't know, what is it, like 15%, 16% throttle. I'm getting up to 8%. And that's when power, and that's when it starts moving. No, I'm lying. 8% throttle, and I'm screwing up all the math. Okay, 8% throttle is when it starts moving in power. So, so it's like probably like 5 or 6% power that I'm giving it to take off. Anyways, that's where you set up the power and throttle position. So, oh, that's 30, okay. So 30%, so 8% throttle, so I'm getting 4%. All right, so at 4% of the power that I'm putting out there, then the vehicle starts moving. So you can pretty much set it up where you want it and change that up however you want. So that's where I have it, and it seems to work for me. Throttle, of course. I have it all set up at the maximum level, just because I figured, you know, what the heck, why limit it right now? If I break something, I break something. But you could play with that setting. Startup power very high again. Max reverse just 50%, max brake 100%, drag brake 0. We have the worm gears. I don't worry about setting that drag brake. It's just, you know, that's just what I do. You can set up the rotation of the motor. That tells you where you can set up the voltage cutoff. If you're running LiPo, you can do it at 3.0. I like to do it at 3.2 because that's just what I'm used to doing, and I like to save my batteries. For crawling, obviously, you want to go with forward reverse. I don't know what the heck I have it there for, but forward reverse. Because again, you got the worm gears. You don't need that brake, and you want to be able to go forward and back however you want it to. So that's that setting. And of course you got, again, telemetry. That's all that beauty in there. Steering, of course, you can set up the steering however you want. But this right here will be the most important thing you're gonna work with, because that's gonna tell you how slow you're gonna go at the lowest, you know, possible setting. And you're really gonna wanna play around with that a lot. And neutral, low speed. I got that set at the lowest level because obviously you want it to go as low as possible, but you could set that up however you want. But yeah, this is a very simple device. If you wanted to run something close to what this does with Castle, you obviously would need to get their app, which is free, but you need to get the Bluetooth connection for it, which is like $50. Nowhere near. You can get the ESC and the Bluetooth for this one for that price. So I'm sorry, Castle, that they got you beat there too. And yeah, this is just perfect. I love this ESC. I don't think for a very long time we're gonna be changing this ESC for anything else. If anybody has a 124 scale, 116 or 118 scale, yeah, even a 118 scale crawler, I will go with this ESC and I will forget about every single ESC out there. This is perfect. This is all you need. Look at this thing. He doesn't even care. Just going up there. Let's go a little higher, see how much you can do. Now that sound is the gears. And here I have those metal gears, and you could hear it go ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka. It's just because it's metal gears. Yeah, this is just perfect, guys. Just stop wasting your time. Go order one of these. I know they're in back order, but as soon as you can, just order this ESC. You will never ever need to get another ESC for your crawlers. This will be it. It'll open the doors for anything and everything that you may want to put in there. I haven't tested it with this guy. I don't know that I need it for this guy. This is going to be an all-out speed demon. But even if it's twice as fast as what the slow speed is on this one, that is still a really good crawling speed. And then when you gun it, you have 4100 kV on this motor. God knows what's gonna happen. This is amazing. I haven't even tested like the new one, the other one, the larger one. Once I get that one, I could test it at 3S and see what happens. But see this, I have a whole bunch of motors. Anything goes. You can use any of it. So don't call me, don't text me, don't send me messages about what ESC you should use. This is all you need. This is me telling you, this is all you need. You don't need anything else. I haven't had any issues. I just got this thing. But when you get this thing going, you're not gonna want to move to anything else. And the price, you can't beat the price on this thing. The size of it, the price is so low. Just, you could put it anywhere. This is a small cage and everything is in there. And I'm running a 350 milliamp hour battery. I'm just in shock. I don't know. I've seen videos of it before, but I hadn't tried it with an inrunner. And there's nothing else we need. That's it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm speechless. Best DSC out there. Amazing. Oh, did I show you guys that you have a whole bunch of mounting points here? So the actual articulation that you're seeing here, if you're an articulation freak, move those shocks over. You'll get more. But I don't like to get that much articulation. You know, when you get all the way up to 90 degrees, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna get stuck. The tire's gonna be flat on the floor. That's not gonna help you to crawl. I mean, very seldom do you need to articulate that much. But anyways, he's happy. Get that ESC. And if you want this motor, it's super cheap too. You can get it. Just get online. You get an ESC with it as well for like 27 bucks. But that ESC is not Furitek. So you can use that ESC for bashing or whatever you want. But the motor itself, perfect. It works with the Castle motor, which is the same thing as the, what was it? The low center of gravity 380 motor, you know, revolver motor. So same thing. So if you go to Shapeweek store, that's what you're gonna, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna update the file for the 380 with the file for the Castle, which is the same thing, but it has a larger hole in the middle for you to run, you know, any kind of gears you want. So I'll update that. So Castle is the same as the 380, low center of gravity. It'll all work. And that's it. I'm just rambling. This is the dumbest video I've ever put out there, but I just can't get over it. It's amazing. We have a crawler and we have a basher in the same vehicle. And I don't know what to say. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the long video, but you guys really needed to see all of this. And let me know what you think. Don't ask me for which one's the best ESC. You already know. It's a Furitek. And motors, whatever you want to throw in there. It'll work. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.